to the deep dive.
Great to be here.
So today, we're heading down to Augusta, Georgia, or the CSRA, that's the Central Savannah River area.
Right.
We're focusing on Carolyn Henry. She owns the Stop Food Truck there.
Yeah, I saw the interview with her from WJBF's Celebrating Black Excellence. Really interesting stuff.
Definitely. Her whole perspective on, local food, farming, community, it feels really relevant.
And that core idea, she has harvest local and add global flavor.
Exactly. I'm keen to dig into that and see what practical things we can maybe pull out for ourselves.
Well, her own story is a good place to start, I think. She's actually from Southern Maryland originally.
Oh, okay. Not a Georgia native then.
No, she moved down to the CSRA, to Hepzibah specifically, maybe about 3 years back.
Why the move?
She was looking for, well, a slower pace, she said, and somewhere more affordable, compared to the D.C., Maryland, Virginia area.
Makes sense. The DMV is expensive.
Right. And she said something that really stuck with me, that Hepzibah kind of found her.
That sounds like she really clicked with the place.
Yeah, like a real sense of belonging.
Yeah.
And you can see how that feeds into her focus on the local community, especially with food.
It really does seem connected. And the name of her truck, The Stop,
Yeah.
their motto is, "Where we will stop is where we will cook." It's pretty direct, isn't it?
It is. Simple, but says a lot.
So building on that, let's unpack her other motto. Harvest local and add global flavor.
Okay.
She apparently got this idea from traveling, seeing how basic ingredients, beans, chicken, rice are used everywhere.
The staples.
But it's the local additions, the spices, the techniques that make them different, right?
Exactly. So she wants to bring those kinds of global tastes back to her local community, using what's grown right there.
Can you think of an example? Like, how would that work, taking a local Georgia ingredient?
Well, the interview didn't spell out specific recipes, but you can imagine, right? Say you take Georgia peaches, which are obviously huge there. Instead of just dessert, maybe she'd use them in like a savory dish. With Moroccan spices, maybe cumin, ginger.
Oh, interesting.
Or make some kind of Indian-inspired chutney to go with local pork. It's about that twist, familiar local stuff, but with a flavor you weren't expecting.
That makes it clearer. And it sounds like she really walks the talk when it comes to sourcing locally.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
She's all in with the local farmers markets.
She mentioned specific farms.
Yeah, Addison's Fresh Produce, Starlet Roots, Hancock Farms, all local organic growers.
Wow.
And it's not just produce. She gets local honey, too, from Country Queen Honeys and Black Farm Street.
Honey, too. Okay.
And even meat, like pork from 3T's Farms over in Lincolnton.
So she's really covering her bases. Where does she shop?
Places like the South Augusta Farmers Market, Augusta locally grown. She's clearly tapped into that network.
You mentioned honey. She talked about benefits beyond just taste, didn't she? Something about the immune system.
She did. Yeah, the idea behind local raw honey is it might help with allergies because it has tiny amounts of local pollen.
Ah, the desensitization idea.
Right. Kind of like microdosing pollen, you could say. The science on it is, well, it's not totally conclusive. It varies a lot.
So maybe helpful, maybe not, but worth considering.
Exactly. It's got other good stuff, potential antimicrobial bits, but yeah, it's more like a complementary thing. Her point is more about looking at all the potential pluses of local food.
Gotcha. And her commitment goes even further, right? She's big on actually growing your own food.
Huge advocate for it. And it seems really personal for her.
How so?
Well, partly it's practical. She mentioned raising lots of kids and grandkids, so keeping food costs down is, important.
Sure, that makes sense.
But it's also about teaching skills, self-sufficiency, she told this story.
Yeah.
About a hurricane hitting, stores being inaccessible. And they were able to feed people from the community using collards and kale they grew right in their backyard.
Wow, that's resilience right there.
Isn't it? And it ties back to her own childhood. She grew up in a farming community. Her dad, her grandmother, they taught her this stuff.
So it's deeply ingrained.
Seems like it. And her advice for people wanting to start is so down to earth.
Like what?
Basically, don't overthink it. Just scatter some seeds. Let God do the work, as she put it.
Ah, I like that. Keep it simple.
Yeah. And she points out, there's no tax in my backyard. Plus the satisfaction of actually growing something yourself.
It changes gardening from a task to something more empowering, maybe.
Yeah.
And cheaper.
Definitely. Which connects perfectly to her push for shopping locally in general.
Right. It's not just about her sourcing locally, but encouraging everyone else, too.
Exactly. It helps businesses like hers keep their costs down, which, might mean better prices for customers eventually.
But bigger than that too, right? Supporting the whole local economy.
Absolutely. Keeping that money circulating nearby. She mentioned how it helps fund schools, other services through local taxes. It's that whole ecosystem.
And it's not just food vendors. She means other local spots too.
Yeah, flea markets, Saturday markets, all those local businesses contribute.
It's interesting, though, she also brought up tariffs.
Ah, yes. That was notable.
She's seeing a direct impact.
Apparently so.
Yeah.
She said the cost of starts, young plants and seeds at nurseries, is way up this year compared to last.
And she thinks tariffs are the reason.
She directly linked it, yeah.
Yeah.
Said it's contributing to these rising costs.
So it's hitting home gardeners, maybe small farmers too?
Seems like it.
Yeah.
And she predicted we'll probably see those effects not just at nurseries, but maybe grocery stores down the line too.
Are there other ways tariffs might be hitting local farms besides just the plant starts?
That's a good point. I mean, you could think about imported fertilizers, maybe farm equipment parts, even animal feed could be affected.
Right. Costs could go up across the board for farmers.
Yeah, which eventually gets passed on. It shows how interconnected things are. Her response:
What's she doing?
she wants to grow more from seed herself, to save money up front and get a head start.
Makes sense. A practical reaction to a bigger economic thing.
So for anyone listening who's now thinking, okay, I want to try gardening, she had some good tips.
Especially for kids, right?
Yeah, she really pushed getting kids involved. Things like 4-H clubs or summer farm camps. She mentioned Black Farm Street and South Augusta having programs.
Good way to connect them to where food comes from.
Totally. And her starting advice is great for kids too. Buy cheap seeds, like from the Dollar Tree, she said, and just let them experiment.
Low pressure, fun.
Gets them outside, off screens, moving around. All good things.
Then for adults looking for resources.
She mentioned checking out organizations like Georgia Grown, Georgia Organics, the South Augusta Farmers Market, ALG Online. Lots of info there, ways to connect.
So there are resources if you want to learn more.
Definitely. And her bigger picture goal behind all this, it's about tackling food insecurity, starting right in our own yards.
That's a powerful vision. Grow food. Build community resilience.
It really is.
So if people in the Augusta area or visitors want to find Carolyn and the Stop Food Truck.
Easy enough. They're on social media, Facebook and Instagram. Just search the Stop Food Truck.
Okay.
She also gave out her number, 762-221-1331. Said texts or calls are welcome. Seems very open to engaging.
Very community focused.
Yeah, and they even work with the community garden at Bell Terrace Presbyterian Church. Really involved.
So wrapping this up then, what really stands out from this deep dive is, well, Carolyn Henry's passion, really.
Yeah, her dedication to local food is clear. And not just the food itself, but everything around it.
Growing it, sharing it, supporting the people who produce it, that whole cycle.
And making it accessible, maybe even exciting, with those global flavors she incorporates.
We talked about the benefits, cost savings from growing your own, that hurricane story showing resilience.
Right, and the wider economic impact of keeping money local. It all ties together.
Her approach just feels very grounded, practical, but also quite inspiring.
It really does make you think a bit more about, where your own food comes from.
Which leads us nicely to a final thought for you listening.
What's one small thing you could do?
Yeah, just one step. Maybe it's checking out a local farmer's market this weekend, or grabbing a packet of herb seeds next time you're at the store.
Or even just looking up a local farm online, see what they do.
Exactly. It doesn't have to be a huge change, but as Carolyn's story shows, those small actions, especially when lots of us do them, can really add up.
For your own well-being and for the health of your whole community. Something to chew on.